Welcome back to the Holistic Health Bites podcast. Today, we're going to talk about the process that we need to go through to achieve ideal metabolic health. So, we've heard there are no quick fixes when it comes to achieving ideal health. And while it isn't always fun or easy, it's important to follow a proven process. Doing things in the wrong order or skipping steps can not only lead to frustration when it doesn't work, but can actually make things worse. So, what is the process? These are the systems in the body that need to be addressed, and I recommend in this order. Number one is liver detoxification and gut health. The digestive tract is vital for optimal health. This is where you take in your energy, your nutrients, and all of the building blocks needed for hormones, tissues, cells, enzymes, and every system in your body. This is also where you filter and eliminate toxins and waste products and excess hormones and bad microbes. And lastly, this is a huge part of your immune system, both in the most common exposures that you need to fight, but also in stimulating your body's responses to infections and invaders. If your detoxification pathways aren't open, toxins, microbes, and other harmful substances can accumulate, causing inflammation, food sensitivities, and just about any symptom throughout the body. So, how might you know if your detox pathways are closed? If you have constipation, if you don't sweat very easily, regardless of your activity, if you have skin issues, acne, dry skin, eczema, any of these kinds of things, if you have breathing problems, if your ankles swell or your hands swell, or really if you have any unwanted symptom in your body, especially if you can't pinpoint it to any other cause. In order to take care of these systems, we need to flush out the digestive tract. This isn't done through a juice cleanse, but rather by loading up on quality nutrients these systems need to be able to fully utilize the needed enzymes, cofactors, nutrients, vitamins, and hormones. We don't want to be restricting calories or macronutrients when flushing out these systems. We do want to be taking in quality nutrients while avoiding substances that make these systems work harder, like alcohol, refined sugars, dairy, gluten, soy, and added chemicals. This process usually takes at least 2 weeks, but it can take longer depending on the state of your individual health. In my program, I recommend some temporary added supports to help feed these systems and eliminate toxins. This may include some antimicrobial products to eliminate unwanted microbes, some gut supports to nourish the intestines and the liver, and some liver support to ensure proper bile flow and clearance. Now, weight loss is not the goal of this phase, but rather we're stoking the fire of the metabolism and reducing overall inflammation. Stress is a major factor wearing down the system. So we also need to keep exercise to a minimum in this phase. Walking and low impact activities are great here. The second phase is we need to feed the metabolic fire. In this phase, we're really going to change up the food combinations while we're still focusing on feeding the body and increasing the metabolic rate. This is especially vital for anyone who has chronically dieted, yo-yo dieted, or done any kind of calorie restriction for an extended period of time. We actually need to nourish the metabolic systems and stimulate the process called mTOR for a bit. mTOR is a building phase. This is where you can build more muscle, you can rebuild your hormones and enzymes, you can regenerate your tissues. We need more protein and more total food to do this. We'll also include a lot of dietary diversity for optimal nutrient status and gut health. And depending on the individual, we may add different supports based on the remaining bodily systems or particular health issues that the individual is facing. This could involve continued gut support, may also require thyroid, adrenal, blood sugar, or other nutrient support. This phase is still not focused on weight loss, but rather still on building up that metabolic engine. In this phase, we're still focused on bringing down inflammation, bringing down stress loads, so we can dial up exercise a little bit, but we're still not to full capacity yet. We don't want to distract the body from healing. This phase can take a couple of weeks to a couple of months, again, depending on the unique body and the person's goals. Once all of the body systems have been fully replenished and nourished, we can move into achieving optimal function of the body and in body composition. This is where we can dial in fat loss, muscle gain, balancing blood sugars, creating insulin sensitivity, balancing sex hormones, continuing to reduce inflammation, and focus more on training goals. I recommend starting this phase by balancing insulin, sex hormones, and reducing inflammation before we dive into the deep end of the body composition goals. Often, these will come simultaneously, but when all the focus is put just on body composition, sometimes poor choices creep in, which will end up in a backslide in metabolic health. So, this is the phase where we can start changing up the macros, leaning into specific nutrition plans based on the goals, and where we can support overall endocrine health. Blood sugar and insulin play direct roles in sex hormone balancing, brain health, inflammation, body composition, fuel usage in the body, and even in training capacity. With a properly formulated plan, this is where we can reduce calories or specific food groups to achieve ideal function and body composition goals. This phase can last for a few weeks to a few months, depending on the body and goals. This isn't really a calorie restriction phase, but more of an optimization of macros and nutrients and food choices to achieve certain goals. So we may dial the calories back some because we were overfeeding the body in the previous phases, but we're still not really going to go crazy into a calorie restriction because that just starts the whole yo-yo cycling again. And then in this final phase, we can implement things like fasting. Now, fasting can be a wide range of different definitions. Dietary fasting could be a specified period of time, could be intermittent fasting, or we could just eliminate a particular macronutrient or food, or even you can fast from a lifestyle factor like social media, news media, or chronic cardio. This is a temporary fast to break addictions, to allow the body to repair and regenerate, to remove old senescent cells, and to boost the immune system. Fasting can be done in a periodic fashion long term, depending on the type of the fast, your health goals, and your overall health status. This is my favorite way to calm the food noise and find entertainment and comfort outside of food. When we're not eating, we can stop thinking about eating all the time. Approaching health in this way ensures that your brain can speak to your organs and glands appropriately without distraction. Your organs and tissues have all the nutrients they need, and your metabolic engines can operate on both glucose and fat efficiently. This can break the cycle of addictions, eliminate stuck points, and get you off the dieting and food-focused roller coaster. So I hope this information was helpful. As always, I welcome questions and comments and stories and successes and struggles, all of the things. Reach out with all of your questions and comments. Till the next, be well and vibrant.